Hey guys, so hopefully this is going to be a quick video because I was not planning on filming today, but I just wanted to ask all of my TTC sisters, are you guys okay? And if you are not okay and you need someone to talk to, comment below. You can send me an email, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can message me on Facebook, and I will lend you my ear because I know most of us are not okay right now. Social media is great during this crisis because it gives all of us an escape. Sometimes it can be very hilarious and funny and refreshing all at the same time, but it also can be depressing. I have enjoyed every hilarious meme, everything that has been said. It's been absolutely hilarious. But the one thing that has been getting to me is all of the complaints I see posted about children. Oh my God, they cancel school for the rest of the year. Oh my God, they expect me to feed these kids and teach these kids. Oh my God, if I have to go to the grocery store one more time, I don't think those statuses are coming from a negative place. Maybe it's coming from frustration. Maybe it's coming from fear about what all is going on because a lot of people have been laid off. Maybe that's where it's coming from. But those people who's posting those type of things, I don't think you guys understand how blessed you are. I will give my right arm to see a toddler running around my living room, dining room, and kitchen right now. I would give my left arm to have to break up two toddlers from fighting. I would love more than anything to hear my wife say, hey babe, we need to go to the grocery store because we out of fruit snacks. Like, there are thousands of women who wish they were in you guys' shoes right now. I think a lot of people, when it comes to infertility, they have this assumption that it is the gay woman's disease. It's a lesbian issue. That's furthest from the truth. Myself and my wife, we went through a year of fertility. And if you are in the fertility process, especially if you're doing IVF, you know you have to go to the doctor like every other day. Fertility doctor's offices is no different from a standard doctor's office. But what was surprising to myself and my wife, because like most people, we didn't think fertility was this major thing. We thought it only affected like lesbians. We were biased at one time. To our surprise, when we went to this clinic, they were jam-packed every single appointment. Sometimes people didn't even have a seat. 9 out of 10 of our appointments, my wife and I were the only same-sex couple. It was African-American couples. It was white couples. It was Muslim couples. It was Asian couples. It was mixed race couples. Fertility affects a lot of people. For me, I unfortunately suffers from secondary infertility, which basically means that I was able to get pregnant and give birth on my own before, but now under no circumstances will I be able to do the same without medical assistance. So in a sense, I'm blessed because I'm a mom. I have a person calling me mommy. I have that feeling. I can celebrate Mother's Day. I can do all of those things. But it's other women within this amazing and special and lit TTC sisterhood that I am, that unfortunately haven't experienced that yet. Some may not experience that at all. And some, under no circumstances will they be able to experience that. Infertility isn't something that just affects the LGBT community. It affects heterosexuals as well. And honestly, it's more heterosexual couples that go through infertility treatment than any other group. Infertility is very expensive. IVF is about $25,000. If you are a same-sex couple, you have to also factor in the cost of sperm, which is about $1,000 per vial. IUI is expensive as well, but most people in the infertility world, they're going through infertility for a reason, and IUI typically doesn't work because IUI is basically sex without the sex. It's women right now, as they are watching this, just got finished crying because their IVF embryo transfer was canceled because of COVID-19. It's women out here who egg retrieval was canceled because of COVID-19, and they're crying their eyes out. It's women who has had their entire cycle canceled because of COVID-19. They put their entire savings into this cycle, into this fertility treatment. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. They are completely broke. It got canceled, and now they're making phone calls, seeing if they could borrow money from somebody, pawning their belongings, all to try to come up with money to pay the fertility clinic to freeze their eggs. Yeah, your kids are eating you out of house and home right now. That's what kids do. It doesn't matter if it's this pandemic or if it's just a regular day. Kids eat. Especially when they're between that age of like 8 and 13. It's like they got a damn extra human inside of their stomach that just eats more. That's what they do. So what? School has been canceled. Most schools in 2020 has parent portals. And if you're not familiar with your child's school parent portal, you slacking. It's nobody else's fault. It's not your kid's fault. It's not your teacher's fault. You're slacking. You could go on that portal. Most of the teachers are uploading homework assignments. I've seen several videos of teachers doing Skype lessons. And even if the teachers wasn't taking an extra step, as a mom or as a dad that's maybe watching this, what's the problem? It's not like back in the 80s when we were growing up, we didn't have all this fancy stuff like iPhones and laptops and computers, and we could just go on Google at home. In 2020, you can do all of that. In 2020, you can say, boop, 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 lessons for a third grader. Boop, 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 lessons for a 1-year-old. Do some science projects with them. It's not as bad as people is making it. It's not. And I think I'm probably emotional about it because in my journey right now, the only way I am going to get pregnant is if I do another IVF, which is fine. I did IVF for a year. I did the injections. I can do it again. I'm still not giving myself the injections, but I can do it again. But I found out I have a fibroid that was there when I did IVF. That should have been removed back then, but unfortunately, some members of my medical team dropped the ball, and now the fibroid is huge. My choices right now is do IVF now, and if I get pregnant, we will do a scheduled C-section, and at the time I will have a hysterectomy, because either way, because of scarring, I have to get a C-section anyway, or accept that I'm not having any more children ever and do the hysterectomy now. Either way, a hysterectomy is a part of my story within the next 12 months. Either way. It's a difference when somebody tell you, you can't have children unless you do IVF, or you won't be able to have any more children unless you do this fertility treatment or that fertility treatment. That's one thing. But to be told that in order to stop the fibroid from growing, in order to stop the pain that you're going through, in order to stop the bloating, in order to stop feeling the fibroid when it's inflamed, in order to stop all of the uncomfortable shit that you're going through, simple stuff, as simple as laying on my side, as passionate as having sex sometimes is painful. In order to get rid of all of that pain, I have to have my female organs taken out. That's my life right now. And some of you is online complaining because your 2-year-old ate all the chicken nuggets. Some of us wish we was in the kitchen having a battle with a 2-year-old over chicken nuggets. Like, I would give anything to have that moment. I love being a mom. I lost a son before. And sometimes, not even gonna say sometimes, it's not a day that go by that I don't think about him. And sometimes, give me a moment. Sometimes I sit and wonder, like, would he been like his sister? Because my 19-year-old is absolutely amazing. Me and her dad was toxic for each other. Pisces and Aries, we was toxic for each other, and we were young. But I feel like we were meant to be her parents, and I am blessed that he is my child's dad, And I just feel like the best part of me and him was put in her, and she is awesome. She's probably the most responsible and caring and loving and intelligent young woman you would ever come across. And sometimes I sit there and think about it, and I'm just like, I wonder if my son would have had so many of my genes like my daughter do, because she looks just like me. Like, it's like looking at her, I'm seeing myself live at 19. I wonder if he would have lived, would he been into sports like she is. My daughter in high school, she played volleyball, softball, basketball, track, and was on the swim team. Like, would he have played basketball? Would he have wanted to swim? Would he have wanted to be on the football team? Like, I think of stuff like that, My daughter is 19, so if he would have lived, he would probably be like 16 now. I'm like, well, if he was still here, would my daughter be the one teaching him how to drive? How would he have been as a little human being? Even my fertility treatment in 2017, the last one transferred 2 embryos. I bled out at work. The clinic said I wasn't pregnant, never would let me come in. I go to urgent care. They said I miscarried. What would that child have been like? Would it have been more than one? Or would it just been one? If it was 2, would they look like whatever the donor looked like? Or even though it would have been a mixed child or children, would they still look like me? Because my daughter is my twin. Like, these are thoughts that go through my head every single day. And during this pandemic, I log on to social media and I see people complaining because their kids are eating. I see people complaining because they are stuck in the house with their children while their baby daddy is doing their thing. Like, none of that matter. Like, none of that matter. I'm not even sure if I'm going to upload this, but I just want to be that ear for all of my TTC sisters. If you having a hard time right now, send me an email. We could talk. Never met before, but we could talk. If you need somebody to vent to, DM me. Send me a message. I'll put all of my stuff down below. Because I know that I'm not the only one during this time. That's okay, but not okay.